Seems like no matter what I do, whether it's the Mustang, the BMW, the Miata, and especially the Lexus, I just cannot catch a break. And I feel like anytime I'm making a video on this car, I'm making a video about something that's gone wrong. And while that has happened again today, even more so than it did last time. Now I'm trying to cut this car as many breaks as I possibly can, but at this point, I mean, I have to make this video. This car's kind of been unreliable. When I bought the car, everything seemed okay. Then about a week passed and the lights started going out, so I had to replace those, which was a couple $100. Then the windows stopped working, which was then a couple $100 to replace that panel over there. And now, well, we've had a couple more issues ever since. You guys obviously know about the water pump failing, the dash cracking, and all of those different things that are very common issues. Well, the water pump isn't, but the dash is very common. My memory seats don't work in the car, and the window switches still aren't 100%. The window switches still intermittently go out. They started working for a little bit, and then they just, once again, decided to not work for some reason. Brand new window switch on that side that just decides to not work. The most recent service that I had, the car had a full inspection when I took it to get the oil change done on it, and while they found out that the diff was leaking, the alternator went bad in the car, which was another $600 repair, which I talked about in the last video. But like I said, they found out that the diff was leaking, and then they found out that the inner CV boot was leaking. Now, I have no idea what's going on with the diff. I haven't had time to look it up. It might be something that's just a little loose, or it might be something we have to replace. It's probably some type of gasket, some type of seal back there that's going to be really annoying to get to, but I'm probably going to have to do it myself, because if I take it to Lexus, they're going to charge probably like $1,500. I take it to a private mechanic, they're probably going to charge $800 to $1,000. So I don't really want to pay that for something that costs less than $100 for the parts. Most of the time, a lot of the charges for maintenance items like that, like the water pump costs $300, but then costs $500 worth of labor from a private mechanic, and costs like $600-700 from Lexus. So I have to do these things myself, because there's no way that I can pay that much money, especially with the amount of money I've already put with the alternator and the other couple of things that I've had to do. There's just no way that I'll be able to justify taking this car in and spending $2,000 or $3,000 to get things done. Because water pump was $900 from Lexus, a inner CV boot I was told is around $1,000 from Lexus. I have no idea why the diff is leaking, but I assume it's going to be $200 or $300 at the very least from Lexus. That probably adds up to just under $3,000. If I do everything from Lexus plus the other couple of miscellaneous things, we'll definitely go and put that over $3,000. If I do take it to a private mechanic, it's still going to be maybe $500 cheaper, still over $2,000, so that's kind of crazy. Parts for everything probably cost $500. So I could save $1,500 to $2,000 to $3,000 by doing everything myself, which is what we're going to have to be doing. Now, does that mean that I might think about selling the car? Possibly, but not right now. I want to fix everything that's wrong with the car, because I've seen these cars run to 250,000 miles without any real issues. This car just is giving a little bit of temperament, and maybe it just needs a little bit of attention, a little bit of maintenance, and it should be good to go, which I'm hoping is the case. So I'm hoping that if I do put a little bit of labor, a weekend of labor into it, $500 or $600 in parts, and I can get the car to be whole once again and sorted, that it's going to treat me well for 50 to 60,000 miles easily, which I think it will. I'm willing to give this car another chance, because it is a Lexus, it is a Toyota. I've seen them run basically into the ground 200, 250, 300,000 miles without any real issues. So I know that these cars can do it. The question is, what happened to this car before I bought it that caused all of these issues to happen? My guess is lack of maintenance, lack of care. The owners didn't really care, and that's why I'm always stressing: stay on top of your maintenance, do maintenance early, do preventative maintenance measures on your cars, get to know your cars, because things like this won't happen at what this car has, just shy of 80,000 miles. I bought it with just shy of 60,000 miles, I believe. These things won't happen if you take care of your cars. In my situation, what would you guys do? Fellow Lexus i250 owners, etc., let me know in the comment section down below. Have you guys faced similar issues? Are you guys facing similar issues? Would you kick your car if it did decide to do these things? But now I put a couple $100 into the car. I know the car a little bit. I know what's wrong with the car. So I'm at the point where I kind of am comfortable even though it has a couple of issues, because I know what the issues are, and I know I can most likely fix all of them myself. In the last couple of weeks, that's what I've kind of been dealing with and kind of figuring out what I want to do, because I figured out that there's more than just a couple of things that I thought were wrong with it that are wrong with the car. When they did the service inspection, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense that that boot's leaking, or the diff, yeah, I did notice that it is leaking a little bit from there. There is an exhaust leak and a couple of other smaller things as well. It's just a weird predicament where it's like, it's a Lexus, man. It shouldn't have these issues, but it is a 15-year-old car that might have been neglected just a little bit. So maybe it just needs a couple $100s of parts and a little bit of love, and the car should treat me well going into the future, which I think it will. So, with that being said, stay tuned for when I decide to take this car apart and spend literally like 20 hours, probably just in one video, fixing all of the problems that I have with this car. And there are quite a bit of them, and it probably will take me a while because, again, I'm not a properly trained mechanic or anything like that, but I think I should be able to figure everything out. It's not that hard. I've watched a couple of videos of people doing it. The labor is intensive, but it's doable. Let me know what you guys think about the car. I wanted to make this video just as an ownership point of view, kind of what's going on with the car and my thoughts about, even though the car is breaking, I still want to fix it and still want to keep it because I think the car is going to treat me well as long as I take care of it. But if you are interested in like a more further in-depth ownership, some costs associated, check this video out right here. Interested and you own an ICE 250, want to check out Apple CarPlay, check it out here. That's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video.